Hello everyone, it's Natasha. In today's video, I'm going to show you Beautiful Feet Books, Seasons Afield. I'm going to show you everything that comes with and do a flip through of the teacher guide along with give you my review. So let's dive in. So the first thing you get is the teacher guide, and we will go through this more thoroughly in a minute. You also get the watercolor cards, and these cards are really high quality, and I actually really love these. What I'm missing from this is the book Watercolor with Me in the Forest because I left it at school. But basically the Watercolor with Me in the Forest is the book that gives the instructions for the watercoloring. And basically they've like duplicated the pages from that book to use on cards. It will also suggest in the teacher's guide when there's a lab, a field note per se. And so they've created those for you as well. So you don't have to create any of them yourself. So it's got all these field notes for making jam, a mushroom dissection, spice dyes, all kinds of different things that are in the teacher guide. And these are cardstock. And then it's got all these field notes for the different activities in the teacher guide, and then you actually have the watercolor cards, which are all of these. First, you just have the wet on dry, and then you have actually the pictures that you're going to be doing. So you've got all of these, and again, these are really nice watercolor paper. These are super thick and super nice. So you've got those. So you can actually buy these separately. So if you have more than one kid doing this, then you can buy a pack for everyone. I would even encourage you to buy a pack for yourself because they are pretty fun. So you've got those. Then you've got this Slow Down 50 Mindful Moments in Nature book. And I was thinking this was going to be like a poetry book. It's not. It has just 50 different things of nature and it describes them and tells about them. I will say this is a nice book, but I wish it would have been poetry. I don't know why. That's just my own opinion. I just felt like it would have made more sense for this to be poetry with this curriculum. I don't know. That's just completely my own thing. I have no idea. I also felt like sometimes the suggested reading for this book really didn't match up with the lesson in here. I guess it loosely did, but I don't know. This isn't my favorite. I'll just say that. It's a nice, beautiful book. I just don't know that it was my favorite in context with the curriculum, I guess is what I'm saying. All right, and then we've got The Complete Brambly Hedge. This is a super cute book, and basically each kind of like section in here starts with a story from Brambly Hedge. So this is kind of like your core, I guess. It is a really sweet book. It goes through the different like seasons and these little mice, and just it's super cute. It is, and it's beautifully illustrated. So this is just a great book to have around. I do love this book. And then we've got all these different picture books that go along with the curriculum. So we've got Winter Sleep, Snowflake Bentley, Owl Moon, Alice Waters Cooks Up a Food Revolution, Home in the Woods, Pond, Fall Walk, Albert, Miss Maple's Seeds, The Golden Glow, and Tales of the Mushroom Folk. All right, so those are all the picture books it comes with. And of course, if you know me, you know I love picture books. So of course that is definitely a favorite of mine. Now let's get into the teacher manuals. With this, this is a literature approach to natural science for the primary grades. I'm going to tell you how I use this curriculum, and then you can come up with your own assumptions about what grade level this would be good for. So I actually use this curriculum once a week at my home with a group of kids ranging in age from 4 to 15. So if that gives you an idea, I use this for, like I said, about a dozen kids, 4 to 15 years old. So this definitely can be used for a wide range of grades, in my opinion, but it depends on how you're using it. If you're wanting to use it for a science curriculum, definitely younger. If you're wanting to use it for an art curriculum, definitely older. It could go either way. So how we did this is we did not use it how it was intended, of course. That is the great thing about homeschooling. You can do whatever you want. So we went to the first thing, Autumn Story, and kind of how it's broken up is there's a Brambly Hedge book to start like each section, like I said, and then there's some sort of field work, and there's some sort of notebooking with the watercolor, and then there's Slow Down and Wander. And so what we did is this whole thing, okay, see where then it goes to the next lesson, Preserve. So this whole lesson, Forage, I did this on one day in an hour-and-a-half session with a group of about a dozen kids, ages 4 to 15. So what we did is we would read the story, so whatever the story was. So in this case, it was the Brambly Hedge. And then I often did not do the field work, so I just skipped that completely. And then we would do the watercolor lesson, and then the Slow Down and Wander lesson. And then I would have a snack to go along with the lesson. So I would have the snack set up on the table. So when the kids came, they would be eating their snack while I was reading, which is a great way to keep them quiet. So let me show you another example. So here for Preserve, we read Home in the Woods, and we didn't make a colloidal mixture. However, I did have jam as a snack that day. I had just like bread and jam as a snack. So we didn't make it, but I did have it as the snack. And we did use this Let's Jam field note that particular day. And then we did the watercolor with Me in the Forest and the Slow Down and Wander. The Slow Down and Wander is basically reading a passage from the Slow Down book. And how I did it is I would read whatever the picture book was, or the Brambly Hedge. So I read Home in the Woods, and then I would have kids read the Slow Down. So I would usually choose 2 kids, and they would together read the Slow Down out loud for the rest of the group. And so that's how I did it. And so what we would do is we would read the book first. So like we read Tales of the Mushroom Folk, and the kids would be eating their snack as I read it. And again, I tried to tie in the snack with the book. For this particular day, snack obviously should be mushrooms. My kids aren't going to go for that, so I think I did crackers or something. So I would read, they would eat their snack. I'd call up 2 kids to read the Slow Down, and then we would actually do the watercolor after we were all done. And so and we didn't do the handcrafts, and we didn't do the picture lessons. So then we get into the next section, and you can see the color changes. And so now we're into the high hills, and there's another Brambly Hedge, because like I said, it always starts with the Brambly Hedge. And then we have our notebooking again, which is just the watercolor. The idea is that you're gonna then put all of these field notes and watercolors and things into a notebook. We didn't do that. We just took them home. And yeah, so whatever kind of like science topic there was. So example, like whys and hows of color in plants and animals. We would briefly talk about that, but we weren't using this as a science curriculum per se. We were using it more as an art and literature kind of curriculum. It was pretty much just for fun. So it just kind of depends on how you're using this and what parts of this you want to utilize. Again, we didn't do the picture lessons, and we didn't do the handcrafts because of the way we were using this. And then we didn't do a lot of the field work either, just because we didn't go anywhere and we just stayed in the house, and it was with a big group of kids. So you can definitely expand on this, but if you have like a co-op class that you want to do this with, you can totally just read the picture book and the slow down and wander, or even skip that, to be honest. Actually, at the end, I actually did start skipping the slow down and wander because the kids just weren't into it. They were just bored of that. They liked the picture books. The picture books kept all the kids engaged, like I said, from 4 to 15, so those were fine. Those were good, actually. And the watercolors, everybody loved. Even some of the moms stayed and would do the watercolors, so I definitely suggest those. But the slow down and wander just kind of, I don't know, it was a little boring. I will just say, this is just my own personal preference. I cannot stand how Beautiful Feet books, teacher guides are set up. It doesn't work for my brain. Like, I know it's supposed to be like pretty and you're supposed to be able to like take what you want from it. And that is what I've done. But I don't know, my brain just needs more like day 1, day 2, or I'm not even that. I don't even really know. I don't know how to describe it. I just, when I look at this, I'm like, ugh, I feel overwhelmed instead of like inspired. And so, I don't know. I almost feel like some sort of schedule would have been nice, like picture book, activity. Actually, that's what I made for myself. I made myself a schedule, and it was picture book, activity, like I put a snack, whatever, like watercolor card. Like I made myself a document that like laid it out so I could see what went with what. And that is how my brain works. But this was a little, I don't know, it's a little much for me. And all Beautiful Feet books guides are like this. So it's just kind of their style. But they are so pretty and so full of information. Like, I mean, these are really, really gorgeous. And I see why people are so attracted to using these, and they're really, really good. Like, there's so much good stuff in here. It's just, maybe too much for my brain. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Again, I can't put my finger on it. Maybe some of you understand what I'm talking about. Do I recommend it? Yes. Does Beautiful Feet books choose amazing books? Yes. Would I use it again? Yes. Am I going to keep it? Yes. So all of those things, I just really, it's one of those things I have to make it my own in order for it to work for me. So, but that is the beauty of homeschooling, and like hopefully that helps you. All right, stay tuned for the next video. See ya.